Okay, good morning. Welcome to today's class. Today we'll be starting with the next part of chapter number 1, that is analogy. Before going to analogy, what I'll do is the node method which was discussed yesterday, I would like to refresh it because once you know the node method, that becomes the primary step or the initial step for understanding the analogy. So, for those who had already attended yesterday, this would be repetition for them. But for those who had not attended, I would request you to carefully listen to this, understand it. In case you have any queries, will get clarified. And then we can go to the force voltage or force current analogy. Okay. The reason why we understand the node method is that given any complex mechanical system, is to be we'll have to write a mathematical model for it or mathematical equation for it, but you'll have to analyze it, and for writing that mathematical equation we have two methods. One is called as free body diagram and second one is a node method. Now, what do you mean by node method? Here, given problem is converted into another drawing. Depend with this drawing we write a mathematical equation. So what we'll do is I'll tell you how to convert this given complex drawing into a node drawing, and with help of a node drawing how to write this equation. Okay, so just observe here. Given any mechanical drawing, it can be a hydraulic system or a mechanical system. Just observe. What you'll have to observe is just observe how many displacements are there. If there is a mass, there will be a displacement. So m1 is a mass, so there is a corresponding x1 as a displacement. If m2 is the mass, corresponding x2 is the displacement. So in this method, corresponding how many displacements are there, that many dots or nodes have to be drawn. So x1 is going to represent one dot or a node, and x2 is going to represent one more dot or a node. So first what I'll do is I'll draw
Hello.
two dots.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Hello. Yes, sir. Sir, some students are getting a message that asking to join, so they are unable to join.
Unable to join, huh?
Yes, sir.
But this is a normal class.
Yes, sir. Same problem, sir.
Same problem.
The same problem, sir. Yes, sir.
But what we have done is one metal will just share the link once again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Share. Ask them to come out and once again join.
Okay, sir. I will tell them.
Okay, okay. I'll just wait for a minute. That is the reason why I could see that a few members have joined. Yes, hope that problem is solved because I could see that the number is increasing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. I'll start with the class. Okay. Now here, given a mechanical system that is shown in the figure, so what is allowed to convert that into a node drawing? For this node drawing, corresponding what we'll have to say is how many number of displacements are there. As in this case, there are two displacements, x1 and x2. What I'll do is I'll represent that by two nodes, that is x1 dot x1 and x2. Now, once this is done, we'll have to observe how many connections are there, or how many interactions are happening at M1, because M1 here we are representing a dot. So corresponding to that dot, how many interactions that are happening onto this, that we'll have to see. So there are one, that is a spring. There is second interaction, that is of force. The third interaction, that is of a damper. Then there is a fourth interaction, that is of a spring, and also along and the self weight. So totally there are 5 interactions which are happening at point 1. So one is the force, second one is the spring, third one is the damper, fourth one more is the spring which is interacting with 2 nodes, and there is one more interaction, that is mass M1, which is acting onto that one. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can just hear there is 1, 2, 3, this is 4 and this is 5. So whatever interactions are happening on that point, you have taken into consideration corresponding to point x1 or point node x1. Similarly, at node x2 or point x2, there are 2 interactions, that is K2 is the spring and mass. So that is again seen here. So K2 and mass M2. So what you have done is the complex drawing, as in this case we have taken a simple drawing for understanding, but this might become complex also. So for complex drawing, we convert that into a node drawing. Then what is the after this, what is the step? We'll have to write a mathematical equation for it. For a mathematical equation, that is the force which is acting, in this case the force which is acting should be equal to the summation of all these interactions. If you can just observe here, force f of t is equal to, force f of t is equal to mathematical equation for mass, spring, damper and spring should be equal to force. So then what is the equation we'll have to write? Remember, for mass it is acceleration term, damper is a velocity term, and spring are the displacement term. So how to write it? M1 into d square x1 divided by dt square. Just remember, understand it, do not by heart. This mass is an acceleration term, so M1 is going to repel d square into whichever node we are taking, that is x1 is in this case, so it becomes d square x1 divided by dt square. Then is there any other mass? No. Plus then velocity term b1 into dx1 divided by dt, because it is a velocity term. So d into x1 divided by dt becomes the second term. Is there any another damper term? No. So now we'll have to go for 2 spring mass. As we know, spring is a displacement term, so it will be k1 into dx1 plus k2 into x1 minus x2, because we are concentrating at node x1. So you can just see here whatever I had told, f of t is equal to m1 into d square x1 by dt square plus damping term b1 into dx1 by dt. So it should be dt, not dt1. This there is a mistake. Plus k1 x1 plus k2 into x1 minus x2. So this becomes your first equation at node 1. Now, similarly, what is the equation at node 2? The equation at node 2 should be equal to 0. So summation of these two is nothing but m2 into d square x2 by dt square plus k2 into x2 minus x1, that is equal to 0. That is written here. m2 into d square x2 by dt square plus k2 into x1 minus x2, that is equal to 0. So these two terms have been written. Now, what is the next step we'll have to do? We'll have to take Laplace transform on both the sides for this. So when we are taking the Laplace transform, just observe here, whenever it is an acceleration term, m1 is going to retain. Yes, if it is acceleration term, we get s square. If it is a velocity term, we get s. If it is a displacement term, there is no s term. So acceleration term s square. Then what is there here? X1. So you write capital X1 of s plus b1 into velocity term small s x1s plus this is a displacement term k1 into x1 of s plus k2 into x1 of s minus k2 into x2 of s. So these terms we have written. So what we are doing is we are rearranging things in terms of x1 and x2, so that we have rearranged and we get this equation. So this arrow is going to correspond to the equation at node x1. Similarly, at node x2, if I take the Laplace transform of this, we write m2 into, again as I have told, it is acceleration term, means s square is going to come, x2 capital X2 of s plus k2 into, it is a displacement term, so s term is not going to come, x2 of s minus x1 of s, that is equal to 0. Now again I rearrange this in terms of x1 and x2, so I get minus k2 into x1 of s plus this term into x2 of s. Now this is one equation which is corresponding to node 1. This is the second equation which is corresponding to node 2. Now what we do is we write that in the matrix form. For matrix form, so this first equation x1 x2, second equation x1 x2. If you multiply this, we get these two equations. Whatever there have been put up in this, we get those equations. Now, this is the first part. So in the problem, what has been asked? Obtain the equation of motions for mass m1 and m2. That we have obtained. So these are the equations for mass m1 and m2. If you write up to this step, you are going to get around 60% of the marks for the given problem. Then the next part, what is there here? Also find the transfer function of x2 of s and f of s. So x2 of s and f of s, if I ask here, what you'll have to do is, here I put the reason why I put up in the matrix is for solving this x2 of s divided by f of s, we are going to use the Cramer's rule, which states that, just observe here, it is a very simple method. So once this matrix is written, this is immaterial now. This is not important for me. I just stop here. You just observe. You just concentrate on this first matrix, this matrix. Now, what has been told? We want x2 of s divided by f of s. F of s is already here. X2 I want. So if x2 is required, this second column terms are replaced by f of s by 0. If we just observe, this first column term are retained as it is. The second column term are replaced by f of s and 0. You write this, then divided by determinant. What is determinant? This into this minus this into this. If I take this is a, b, a1, b1, a2, b2, a1, b2, then a2, then this. So this cross multiply you do, then that becomes your delta. That is nothing but the determinant. So solve this. This term becomes 0. This minus of minus plus k2 into f of s, k2 into f of s divided by determinant. So we get x2 of s divided by f of s, nothing but the k2 divided by delta, determinant. So this is the node method. Now I'll just stop here. For those who are not understood, if there are any queries, let me know, or else we'll start with the next one.
Sir, some students are still not able to join, sir.
Why this is happening today?
Sir, don't know, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting message in the class group, sir.
Just a second.
Sir, it is asking permission, sir.
They joined. Everybody, I think everybody is through JIT. This only, no? Yeah. Group.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sufyan, ask them to exit the tab and rejoin again.
Okay, okay.
See here, generally, in case if you are unable to join, what you'll have to do is come out and once again join. That is possible because there will be sometimes connection problem. Generally, sometimes you will have to solve your own problems. Don't rely only on CRs. Even a CR is a human being. Don't say that, sir, CR is unable to help us. Tomorrow, those who are unable to help you will make you CR. Why CR is responsible for every time? You have the link, you can't you join? Why only some CRs have to be always blamed for your these things? Remember, if you are unable to join, come out of the system, rejoin. That is possible. Don't always rely on CR. Got it? CR will also have some his own work also. Got it. Okay. Now, what we'll do is having understood this, we'll go to the next part of unit number A, that is unit number 1, next part, that is analogous system. That is analogy. Now, what is analogy? What are we going to study here? That we'll just observe. So the content of this part is force voltage analogy and force current analogy. Now, first we'll understand what is force analogy. We have two parts. One is, just a second. Okay. We have two parts. One is force current analogy and force voltage analogy. Now, why this analogy system is necessary? I'll just tell you. The system for which differential equations have similar form are known as analogous system. Now, what happens is, in control system only we do not interact with mechanical systems. We interact with hydraulic systems. We interact with electrical systems. We interact with so many systems. But obviously, it is necessary. We are not so much well versed, or we are not much aware of those electrical systems. And this control engineering is also studied by the students of electrical and electronics, and they are not well versed with mechanical systems. So in that condition, if we are not aware of electrical system and electrical students are not aware of mechanical system, then there will be a problem. So there is one intermediate sim which is called as analogy. What it will help us to understand, if I know some important parameters of mechanical system, I can easily compare that with the standard electronic systems. What are those? I'll just tell you. Just observe here. Now we are aware of the system. We know how the spring is going, how the spring works. We know how the damper works. We know how the mass is going to work. But if I ask some student how the resistor is going to work, how the inductor is going to work, how the capacitor is going to work, he may find it difficult to explain. But vice versa, if I ask electrical students or electronic students to explain regarding the resistor, the inductor, or the capacitor, he would be in a better position to explain this, but find it difficult to explain this. But if I want to see that I'm able to solve a problem which will have both the systems, what in the previous example, what sir had discussed, there was an interaction of mechanical as well as electrical. In that case, there is one intermediate method that is called as analogy that we are going to study. Now, what we are going to do here is, we are going to compare and find the similarity between the two things. What is this? I'll just explain. See here. Here, if I want to compare one, suppose this is a mechanical system. If this is a mechanical system, so I have three systems. That is, one is spring, one is a damper, and one is mass. And I want to know which of the electrical system has the same characteristic that of a spring, and which of the electrical system has the same characteristic that of a damper, and which of the same system of like mass has the same characteristic in the electrical system. For that to understand this, we are going to study. Now, what is that? Just observe. The system for which differential equation has similar form of that of analogous system is called as analogous system. Just observe here. See here. Whenever we are designing a system, we have spring, damper, and mass for mechanical system. For electrical system, we have a resistor, we have an inductor, and a capacitor. Now, resistor is going to work in a similar, one type of method, which can be compared to one of these method, to one of the system. Like what I'll compare is, resistance has a similar properties or a similar behavior that of a spring, or an inductor has a similar property or a behavior like that of a mass, and a capacitor has a similar characteristics that of a damper. But this can be only compared if I write that in the form of a equation. When I write that in the form of an equation and just compare the two equations, then we can say that resistor is very much similar to that of spring. A mass is very much similar to that of an inductor. Then a capacitor is very much similar to that of a damper. Why? What we are doing is, we are trying to see the characteristic equation of a spring and trying to compare that characteristic equation of that with the electrical system. And when these two characteristic equations are matching, then we say that mechanical system is analogous with that of an electrical system. That is what here Force and voltage means what? The term which is there in mechanical system is very much similar to that of a electrical system, because both has same similar characteristic equations. Just compare this. I'll just consider this equation. See here, for mechanical system which is shown here, already we have seen how to write a mathematical equation. So what is done here? M into d square x by dt square plus b into dx by dt plus k into x. This is the mathematical model equation we have written. Similarly, for a electrical system, for that is RLC circuit, by applying Kirchhoff voltage law, we write a electrical system that is in terms of voltage, that is V of t is equal to R into I plus L into di by dt plus 1 by C integral of I dt. Now here what I do is I replace that by dq by dt, that is the change of charge with respect to time. Now, what is the current? It is nothing but the change of charge with respect to time. So if I substitute I in terms of dq by dt in this equation, what I get? V of t is nothing but L into dq by dt, sorry, d square q by dt square plus R into dq by dt and q by c. No, you just compare this equation, that is V of t and f of t. If I compare V of t and f of t, we can see that R there is also acceleration term. Here there is a velocity term. Here also there is a velocity term. Here there is a displacement term. Here is also a displacement term. So what I can later on compare that when two systems, maybe one is mechanical system and one is electrical system, when we write that in a mathematical form and compare that, we will come to know that few systems are in analogous, few systems are equivalent. And so what? If I have a mass term, corresponding equivalent term in electrical system will be a inductor. If I have a damper, corresponding equivalent term in electrical system will be a resistor. If I have a spring, corresponding equivalent system in the electrical system will be capacitor. Hope I'll just explain once again. If we have mechanical system and we have electrical system, if I want to compare which mechanical system is equivalent to that of electrical system, for that what we'll have to do is we'll have to write a mathematical equation. Once we write a mathematical equation, then we can compare that these few terms are similar. Few terms are similar. I'm not saying equal. They are similar or equivalent. So when I write this equation for this mechanical system, when I write a equation for this electrical system and try to have in the form of a acceleration velocity, that is in the form of d square dt, then dq by dt, and in the velocity. So I can, when I compare these two, then I can say that mass is equivalent to that of L, damper is equivalent to that of R, spring constant is equivalent to that of the 1 by capacitance, and force is equivalent to that of voltage. So this method is called as analogy. So I'll just come back and explain here. The systems for which differential equation has a similar form is known as analogous system. So in this condition, this is the differential equation of a similar form. Then I can say that this mechanical system, this electrical system, and this mechanical system are analogous to one another because they have a very similar form of a differential equation. Got it? I'll just explain it once again for your benefit. If you have two systems, one is electrical system and one is mechanical system, if I want to compare whether both the systems are analogous to one another, in that condition, first write the differential equation of both. Once you write the differential equation, if you have the differential equation of similar form for both, then we can say that mechanical system is analogous or equivalent to that of an electrical system. That is nothing but the analogous. Now, how to do this? The basis of applying the principle of analogy is that two different systems represented by a differential equation should have a similar form. Means what? Two different systems. Now, what are two different systems? One is mechanical system and one is electrical system, which are represented by a differential equation. If they have a similar form, then I can say that mechanical system is in analogous or is equivalent to that of an electrical system, or vice versa. Then electrical system is equivalent to that of a mechanical system. Hence, the dynamic characteristic of hence the dynamic characteristics of analogous systems are identical. That is the reason why then we can say that whatever is the behavior that of an electrical system of RLC circuit, they have a similar characteristic that of a spring mass damper system. So I can say that this system and this system are equivalent. So if these three terms are there, if I arrange them in like this, I can arrange them similarly here. Whatever the behavior I'm going to get here, similar kind of behavior I'm going to get it here. So this I can say that analogous system. So what I'll do is I'll stop here. If you have any queries, let me know. I'll explain it once again. If you have any doubt. Yes. Any queries? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. See, why is this necessary? Because in a very complex system, there will be multiple number of terms where there will be we have resistor equivalent this. So in that, this RLC, this force voltage analogy is very much important. Now there are various types of analogous system, but for our study we have two, that is force voltage analogy and force current analogy. Analogy are many terms, but we are on for our study we have only two, that is force voltage and force current. Now what I'll do is first we'll understand regarding the force voltage analogy, and later on we'll understand the force current analogy. Now again in the similar thing, if the dynamic characteristics of an electrical system is identical to that of a mechanical system, then the electrical system is said to be analogous of mechanical system. Means what? If the characteristic equation, if the differential equation for the electrical system is identical to that of a differential equation of a mechanical system, then we can say that both are analogous or equivalent to one another. That is what this. Now here in this can be done easily by comparing the mathematical model of electrical and mechanical system. How is this done? By comparing the mechanical model. Now for this what we do is we consider one simple mechanical system which is having a spring, damper and mass, and there is some force which is acting, and because of the force we have certain displacement, that is x. Now we know that how to write this equation for this, that is f of t is equal to m into d square x by dt square plus b into dx by dt plus k into x. This is the equation for that system. Now what I'll do is I'll consider RLC circuit as shown below. Now since we are going for force voltage analogy, force is already there, but I want the equation in terms of voltage. So what I'll do is I'll write the force, I'll have to write the equation for in terms of voltage. So we, in case of RLC circuit, when we are applying for force voltage analogy, we'll have to apply Kirchhoff voltage law, that is Kirchhoff voltage law. And remember here, in case of Kirchhoff voltage law, all the terms should be kept in series only. Now see here, a resistor, inductor and capacitor, they are all in series and they are connected, and we have certain voltage. Once this knob gets, so the voltage is going to be supplied here. Got it? This is nothing but the connection. Now here what I do is I get V is nothing but R into I, because I know this, because voltage is nothing but current into resistor into current. Similarly, in terms of inductance, I know this equation. Similarly, in terms of capacitance, I know this equation. Now, but what I do is, but this equation which is in terms of voltage cannot be compared with this, because they are not in a similar form. But if I want to have this similar form, there has to be some modification which has to be done in this. So what is that modification? What I do is, if I replace I in terms of dq by dt, both are same, because what is current? Current is nothing but change of charge with respect to time. So because what is the reason? Some might ask me, why sir let this equation be there, we can compare. No, because if I want to compare this and this equation, this is very much important. For comparing, both the system should have similar form of differential equation. Here we do not have integration sign. If I want to compare this force and voltage, both should be in the same form. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to rewrite this equation in terms of this form. For that, what we do is current is written in form of change in charge with respect to time. So what we do is replace I by dq by dt in this above equation. So what we get, V of t is equal to L into d square I by dt square, sorry, d square q by dt square plus R dq by dt plus q by c. Now this equation and this equation are of similar form. So f of t and v of t are of similar form. Then we can say that force is analogous to voltage, mass is analogous to the inductance, damper is analogous to the resistance, and spring constant is analogous to 1 by capacitance. It is not capacitance, it is 1 by capacitance because it is in the denominator. And Q or the displacement is analogous with the charge. So that is written here. Compare equations for force with that of V. We have force is analogous to this, Q is analogous to dQ, K is analogous to 1 by C, V is analogous to R, and M is analogous to this, and dQ by dt is nothing but the voltage. This is nothing but the velocity. So this analogous where force is analogous to voltage, where force is analogous to voltage, we write this is called as force voltage analogy. This is called as a force voltage analogy. What we have done is we have written the equation in terms of force and displacement, and we have written the equation in terms of velocity. When we compare this, so not velocity, in terms of voltage, when we compare this, we have a similar form, and after comparing we can say that there are few terms which are analogous to one another. Now this is very important. In exam, no one is going to ask you the derivation or explain anything. They will ask only to remember this. We'll have to only remember this. This is the most important. Whatever you have written here, this or this, both are same. This and this we'll have to remember in exam, because there will be a question which is asked on force voltage analogy and force current analogy. What they do is they will give you a sketch in mechanical system. You will have to convert that into electrical system and explain that both have the similar form. For that, you'll have to remember this. So as in the earlier case we have seen, force and voltage are analogous, force and voltage. Then velocity and current, that is here. So this is velocity, dq by dt is velocity, and I is the current. So velocity is current. Then mass is inductance. Then viscous force B is resistance. Then displacement X is the charge. And stiffness K is reciprocal of C. Displacement C is reciprocal of C. Okay. 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 Now see here, in this case, if you see, force is the input, velocity, voltage is the output. Okay. Now, do you have any doubts with respect to voltage analogy here? Any doubts? If you have any doubts, let me know. See here, because force voltage, once you understand, there is similarly we write force current also. So force voltage analogy is very much important. So just observe here. For those who have just joined, what I'll just tell is quickly I'll tell you. What are we understanding is force voltage and force current analogy. Means what do you mean by force voltage analogy is, if we have two systems, one is electrical system and one mechanical system. If I want to compare them, whether they are similar, if I want to compare them, they will have to have same differential equation. So what we do is take a mechanical system, write a differential equation for that. Take an electrical system, write a differential equation for that. When we compare both, if they are of similar form, then we say that mechanical system is equivalent to that of an electrical system. Mechanical system is equivalent to that of an electrical system. That is the reason why for the previous example, mechanical system, we had written a differential equation. Similarly, for electrical system, we had written a differential equation and we have got this. Remember one thing, here in case of force voltage analogy, always the things should be written in series. They should be written in series. Why is this important? When we solve the problem, we'll understand. Here, representation wise, if you draw this in parallel means your resistance is here, inductance is here, capacitance is here. Even if your answer is correct, if your representation is wrong, you are going to lose around 15 to 20% of the marks. Remember, in case of force voltage analogy, the system or nothing but the components should be kept in series only. They cannot be in parallel. But in case of force voltage, force current, they should be in parallel. So here, now if you just compare this drawing, here they were in series, one by one, means what? One end is connected to another end like this. But here, there is one wire, they are intermediately connected like this. So this is nothing but the parallel connection. This is nothing but the series connection. So this is the series connection. This happens in voltage. This is the parallel connection. It is in the current. Now, what is similarly? We had written the equation for force voltage. Now we will similarly write the equation for in force current. Now, again consider the same mechanical system. For that, we have written this differential equation. Now I consider the same parameters, same components of electrical system, but instead of writing them in connecting in series, I've connected them in parallel, and I'm going to write the equation in terms of current. There I had written in the equation terms of voltage. Here I'm going to write the equation in terms of current. So what I get is like this: I of t is nothing but C into dV by dt plus V by R plus 1 by L integral of V dt. But if we just see here, they are again not in a similar form. They are not in the similar form. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to write that in a similar form. For that, voltage is written here d phi. D phi is nothing but the flux, change of flux. So I write in terms of flux here. C is nothing but d square phi by dt square plus 1 by R d phi by dt plus phi by L. So if I just see, compare this equation to that of this equation, again I get this similar, that is force is analogous with current. In previous, force was analogous with the voltage. Then mass was analogous there with the inductance. Here mass is in analogous with current, sorry, capacitance. Then there charge Q, displacement was analogous with charge. Here displacement is analogous with the flux. Then B was there B was with respect to resistance. Here we have B by 1 by resistance. Then velocity, this is nothing but velocity. dq by dt is nothing but velocity. And K, it was nothing but 1 by C here. We K have 1 by L. So this is nothing but the equation. So important is both the thing. You will have to remember this box. That is for mechanical system, electrical system, for force voltage, for force current, this two. If you remember these two blocks, then we are able to solve the problem. Got it? So what we'll do is we'll take 15 minutes break now. So what I request you is, after this next class, we are going to solve a problem. So in your book, you can just copy these tables. You can just copy these tables. Force voltage, this table you just copy. This table you just copy. Force voltage, this is for, you take this copy. That is force voltage. Force is voltage. Then velocity is current. Mass is inductance. B is nothing but R. Displacement is Q. And stiffness is nothing but 1 by C. You just copy this. You just only copy this. Then we'll solve a problem on force voltage analogy. So we'll take a break of 15 minutes.